Does your license need saving? Do the wise thing. Call Wise Man Lawyers. Does your license need saving? Do the wise thing. Call Wise Man Lawyers. Don't face that court alone. Let the Wise Man team get you back on the road. Does your license need saving? Do the wise thing. Call the Wise Man team at Wise Man Lawyers.
Alright, today I'm at Chinchilla Magistrates Court. Client was charged with drug driving. There's two types of drug driving. The more serious is called drive under the influence of a drug, meaning you were high on drugs. The lesser charge is called drive whilst relevant drug present, meaning you've consumed it at some point. You're no longer under the influence or high, but there's traces of it still in your system. My client was charged with a lesser offence, drive whilst relevant drug present, but it was a repeat offence. But when I say repeat, the previous was more than 5 years ago, so it's still a matter of consideration for the magistrate, but the penalties aren't increased by way of legislation, given that it wasn't within the last 5 years. So what I'm saying is, for a first-time offence or someone who hasn't got any previous in the last 5 years, the worst case is a 9-month disqualification, managed for minimum 1 month, if it occurred in a car, which it did. Whereas if you've got previous in the last 5 years, if it's a previous relevant drug present, the worst case bumps up to 18 months, mandatory minimum becomes 3 months. But as I said, if that previous is outside of the last 5 years, or if there is no previous, worst case is 9 months, mandatory minimum 1 month. My client was a truck driver. He wasn't intercepted in a truck, he was intercepted in a car, but he's a truck driver, so he needed his licence to do his job. He wasn't the holder of a Queensland licence. He held a Northern Territory licence. So for that reason, we couldn't apply for a work licence for him. To apply for a work licence, there's a number of prerequisites, but one of them is you need to have been the holder of a open Queensland licence on the day you're intercepted, and given that he wasn't, we couldn't apply for a work licence. So absolute best case outcome today was a mandatory minimum 1 month disqualification, but that's a complete disqualification, meaning completely off the road, no driving for work purposes or anything like that. There was 2 charges. He also had a pipe, so paraphernalia. So there was the charge of drive whilst relevant drug present and the pipe, but as I said, even though he's a truck driver, it occurred in a car, not a truck. I asked my client to complete a reformatory course, which for regional persons can be done online. I gave him a template to get some character references, got him to fill out a form that gave me the information I needed about him as a person, family situation, the key points I've got to address in my verbal submissions. I drove up from Brisbane yesterday, met the client this morning about half an hour before court. We grabbed the conference room, ran through my submissions, the procedure, what he could expect the prosecutor to say, what he could anticipate the magistrate to want me to say, and the responses that they may give. Because at the end of the day, I don't like clients to watch and hear things happening for the first time as they're happening. I like to try and, give them a bit of a run through, a bit of a reassurance. As it's happening, it's familiar to them and there's no surprises. Obviously, I was here to push for the mandatory minimum 1 month. As I said, worst case is 9 months. Mandatory minimum is 1 month. Yes, he's a repeat offender, but there's been some time between the 2 offences. Look, the short version is I was successful, so I was successful in persuading the magistrate to give him the mandatory minimum 1 month disqualification and fines only, so a fine for the pipe and a fine to go with the disqualification. He's obviously happy. He can't drive for a month, but at the end of the month, if he had a Queensland licence, he'd renew it, but given it's a Northern Territory licence, he just resumes driving, although I always stress that clients who have got interstate licences need to confirm that and get written confirmation of that from the relevant transport body before they resume driving. But yeah, 1 month, in a month, once NT Roads or whatever they're called up there says he's okay to drive, he can resume driving. He's obviously happy. His boss is going to keep him on doing shed work during that month, and then he'll be back to driving trucks after it. I'm Andrew Wiseman. Thanks for watching. Hi, I'm Andrew Wiseman from Wiseman Lawyers, Queensland's only truly dedicated drug, alcohol and traffic offence law firm. If you face loss of licence, loss of vehicle imprisonment or anything in between at any court in Queensland, we can and will help you today. This is our specialty. This is all we do. give us a call, 1300 947 352. I'll look forward to helping you resolve your issue today.
Don't face that court alone. Let the wise man team get you back on the